Hemen yeniden Avrupa'ya dönüyoruz. Belçikalı Şef Gert De Mangeler'i dinlemeye hazırlanıyoruz. 2005 yılında Brüj'de bulunan restoranı Hertog Jan'ı devraldıktan yalnızca bir yıl sonra ilk Michelin yıldızını aldı. İkincisini 2009'da aldıktan sonra 2011'de 3. yıldıza layık görüldü. Geçen yıl aslında restoranını kapattı. Şu anda da dünyayı dolaşıyor, konferanslarda konuşmacı olarak yer alıyor ve mutfak danışmanlığı yapıyor. Şimdi alkışlarınızla Gert De Mangeler'i sahneye davet ediyorum.
PowerPoint? Ah. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. I'm very honored to be invited on the Gastromasa event. I want to thank Gökmen and the organization for their hospitality. We had the opportunity the last few days to travel around in Turkey. We went to Adana, Gaziantep, we went to Istanbul, and it was, of course, a very inspiring road trip. About the inspiration, I think everybody and everything can be very inspirational. I think just sometimes we look at it way too far. It's just around us. So I hope to tell my story about how Hertog Jan was growing, that we can be an inspiration for all of you, especially for the young people, the youngsters, because I'm convinced if you believe in your dreams, you always reach your goal. Just do it. So Hertog Jan is actually our flagship. It's a three-star. It used to be a three-star Michelin restaurant based in Bruges. And it's the story behind two people. It's a story about friendship. It's Joachim Badens, my business partner, and myself. We started with the restaurant in 2005. And actually, it used to be an old pub, an old bar, where we served like stews, like French fries, and we worked there for 2 years. But we had only one dream, and that was to create a fine dining restaurant and to reach 3 Michelin stars. But in the 2005, when we were working for another boss, we were unable to change anything. So we had the opportunity in 2007 to buy the restaurants. And from that moment, we started to invest a lot. We changed the menu, we changed the kitchen, the dining room, the wine lists. So from the very first year, we buy the business. We were rewarded with our first Michelin star, and it went very fast. So in 2010, we got a second star, and in 2012, we gained our third Michelin star. For us, it was really like the Olympic gold. It felt like, let us say, it felt like an American dream. As at that moment, I was only 33, and of course, I was still a very young boy. I was looking for a new challenge because everybody asked us, yeah, what's next, what's next? So we decided to buy an old farm situated a little bit more at the countryside. And we wanted to renovate the whole project, and we wanted, the goal was to cultivate all our flowers, all our herbs, all our vegetables by ourselves. So actually, it would be a farm to table kitchen. So on July 2014, July 22nd, 2014, we opened the new restaurant. I think it was one of the most unique and prestigious restaurant projects ever seen on the Belgian fine dining scene so far. So as you can see here, this was on a new location. This is the old barn. It's protected by law, so it took us several years to renovate it. And into the barn, we built our kitchen. This is a 180 square feet kitchen. We were working with 25 chefs, and it's divided in different sections. At the back, we have the pastry sections, and then upcoming, we have the amuse-bouche, the starters, the vegetables, the hot sides. We also had a spacious dining room. Actually, the idea from the dining room was it runs a bit into the field. So the guests who are having lunch or dinner, they see the gardeners working. So the idea was what you see is what you eat. We had around 70, 75 seats for lunch and for dinner. As you can see, this is the view from the restaurant to the garden. We have a garden of 3 hectares, and we are cultivating more than 600 varieties of vegetable, fruits, herbs all over the year. We have 2 big greenhouses also, where we have a big variation of tomatoes, one of my favorite ingredients. This year, we had, for our tomato collection, I will talk about it later, we had 132 different varieties of tomatoes. So the last 12 years, when we were running Hertog Jan, we had the opportunity to create several signature dishes. This dish was on the menu from the moment we changed the restaurant in 2007, so it was on the menu from day one. And actually, this is a light foam of potato. There is a little bit of shrimp broth inside, and it's topped with coffee, vanilla oil, and grated mimolette cheese. So we started from day one until now. We still serve it. Like if we travel around, we take it always with us. It's, I think, one of the most iconic dishes we have. The second signature is actually it's inspired by an Asian trip, but it's more inspired by the shape of a dim sum. So it's a vegetable. No, it's not really a vegetable, the dim sum, but the outside is a butternut pumpkin. So we made a dim sum of it, and we filled it with a tartare of local langoustine from our North Sea, from Zeebrugge. It's raw. We combine it with a cream of passion fruits, some spices like some vanilla, some coffee, vanilla, cacao, cardamom. It's topped with some salt flakes, and then at the end, in front of the guests, we serve a broth that we made of the heads from the langoustines. This one is this is actually collection of tomatoes 2019. This is probably the dish I think I'm the most proud on it, because tomatoes is really my favorite vegetable. We started with this dish in 2009 when we were still cultivating our tomatoes on another farm, not on my own farm. But like this year, as I told you before, we had a collection of 130 two different tomatoes. What is so special about that dish? Because we have such a big collection, we are unable to serve all tomatoes in one dish. So every day we're harvesting the tomatoes that are ready to eat, that are ripe, and we do a selection of, it's around 150 grams for each guest. So actually every time, if you eat the dish, it's always different. Sometimes you have more red tomatoes, more sweet tomatoes, more sour tomatoes. The idea is that once we did a collection of photos from the whole year, we were serving this dish, and then if you see them all on a big screen, you really see that everything is different. We combine it with some fresh local goat cheese, some African marigold flowers, a little bit of cardamom, and also some oil of African. Next one is, it's actually our own inspiration about a traditional Flemish dish. It's normally the traditional Flemish dish is eel with like glazed on a yakitori grill, a little bit Japanese inspired. And instead of just like a stew with green herbs, we serve it like with some fresh green herbs, with some fried green herbs, and with a cream of fresh herbs. Next one is what we call a walk through the garden. This one is a dish we serve it to everybody the whole year around. And the idea about this dish is that every morning, the chefs, when they arrive, before they go, they start working in the kitchen. They go in the garden, and whatever is ready to pick and to eat, they are harvesting. So they make a daily changing salad. So it's always different every day, every week, every season, every year. Because first of all, it's different because it's always different ingredients, but also because we are using a lot of techniques to create. So I mean, like some of the herbs are just natural, some of them are cooked, some of them are grilled, some of them are fermented, pickled, and whatever. So it's a very inspiring dish, not only about the different kinds of ingredients, but also about the different tastes and about the different flavors and textures that you will enjoy when you are eating. As a main course, one of our most famous was, I think, our local. This is a local duck from a farm near us, and we stuffed the duck with hay, actually with smoked hay, and then we age it for. And then we cook it on a low temperature. We grill it over charcoal, and we serve it with some different kind of beetroots from the farm and some licorice. This one is called, it's actually my guilty pleasure, and it's a memory to my childhood. It's inspired by Snickers, and actually it's one of my favorite sweets that I was eating when I was a young boy, always together with my father. So we made here a combination of chocolate, peanuts, and caramel. So I just wanted to show a bit like what we were doing at Hertog Jan, and then in January, so 2018, so it's almost 2 years ago, we were running Hertog Jan like for 12 years, and we turned it into a successful business. But then at a certain moment, I was thinking for myself, okay, we did it for 12 years so far. What's next for the next 12 years? So we made an enormous journey with a lot of highlights. But to be honest, if I was thinking for the next 12 years, you know, we created our identity, our DNA, our personality. We would be unable to make the same journey as we did before. So at that moment, for us, we had the feeling that we were at the top of our game, and we were looking for another challenge. So we decided to close the restaurants last year.
Joachim en ik we hebben altijd heel veel dromen gehad. Onze passie, onze liefde voor het vak, voor de ambacht, de zoektocht naar de eenvoud, heeft ons eigenlijk ook gebracht tot waar we gekomen zijn. Die 3 sterren, de internationale top. We hebben onszelf altijd gigantische uitdagingen opgelegd, maar die uitdagingen hebben ons ook altijd de kracht en de energie gegeven om er elke dag in, dag uit, uur na uur, opnieuw voor te gaan en ons 300% in te zetten voor hetgeen waar we mee bezig zijn.
Het is ook daarom dat eigenlijk de drive en mentaliteit van topsporters, hoe dan die mensen leven voor hun doel, ons ook altijd inspireert. Er ook keihard voor gaan, wat eigenlijk hetgeen dat we hier hebben, ja, dat is eigenlijk ons Olympisch goud.
Een van al die dromen dat Joachim en ik altijd gehad hebben, was eigenlijk om op een hoogtepunt te stoppen met Hertog Jan.
Maar we stoppen zeker ook niet met de topgastronomie. Integendeel zelfs. Het is eigenlijk de bedoeling dat we hetgeen dat we altijd gedaan hebben, dat we dat nog beter gaan doen.
We zitten vol met frisse nieuwe ideeën, nieuwe concepten, heel veel nieuwe creativiteit. We gaan dus zeker allerlei dingen volgen. Maar in eerste instantie zouden we heel graag ons tapasrestaurant Les verder uitwerken. En dat samen met ons jonge, dynamische team dat we de afgelopen jaren rondom ons gecreëerd hebben.
We willen eigenlijk onze gasten blijven een 3-sterren beleving aanbieden. Maar het zal niet meer in een traditionele setting van een restaurant gebeuren. Het zal meer op onze eigen en persoonlijke manier zijn.
So for us, actually, that was not really the end, but it was just the beginning of a new adventure, of a new story. We created the Hertog Jan restaurant group, and nowadays we have 4 members. First of all, we have Les Eatery, and it's about casual fine dining. We have Barbulot, that is traditional Flemish dining. We have Babu, it's fast casual dining. And we also have More by Hertog Jan. And More actually is, with More we want to keep the soul from Hertog Jan alive. So we are traveling around the world to cook the Hertog Jan dishes. Like next week we are leaving for Japan. We cook at Florilege, we cook at Anis, and we cook at Rakushin. So we're doing a lot of, I think, let us say every 2 months we are in another country to cook the signature dishes of Hertog Jan and to keep our soul alive. So let me tell you something more about Les. Actually, when we closed the restaurant last year, Les was our first new restaurant that we opened in the beginning of this year. So we opened it in March 2019. And it's a casual fine dining, and it's about sharing food, because sharing is caring. And Les also mean, as you can see, love, eat, share, and smile. The food that we are serving there is the kind of food that I want to share with my family, with my friends. It's like comfort food, but on a little bit on a higher level. It's, as you can see, it's a contemporary restaurant with a cosmopolitan feeling. We use a lot of warm colors, warm materials like leather, like wood, like steel. It's an open counter kitchen, so we have an open robata grill, seats around it. And we serve an international cuisine, of course with local products. We only use local products. And then this is quite Asian inspired. So we have some dishes here from Les. It's an air pistolet with some pancetta. We have some local squid, some spicy fried squids. We do some hamachi belly that we serve with some ponzu and some daikon. We have, this one is a ceviche of Noordzee-bos, some local Noordzee-bos. We have a combination of tuna with roasted bell pepper and some avocado, served with an acid tomato broth and some wakatai oil. We have some dim sum beef with beef, some glazed eel. So this is the glazed eel with some sorrel, and it's a garlic ponzu butter sauce. We have focaccia that we grill on the Robata grill. A turbot, a local turbot from the North Sea, Cantonese style, so with ginger, some spring onion, cilantro, some soy sauce, some grilled lettuce, some fried rice, an aubergine Thai style with some spices, some tofu and some coriander on top. This is a lemon sorbet with sancho and homemade limoncello. Some freshly turned vanilla ice cream. So let us say that Les was our first new baby this year. So as you can see, we have a very young and dynamic team. So we are open since 8 months this year, and after 8 months, last week we were rewarded with the first Michelin star. Like at the beginning of November, actually a few weeks ago, we opened a new one, and it's called Barbulot. Barbulot is more about Flemish food, you know, the kind of food that we were used to eat with our grandparents and with our parents, but we want to give it on a very refined way. So it's also about very local products, but very classic Flemish food that we serve on a refined way. The main colors from Barbulot are white and blue, as we use a lot of products from the North Sea, only a few kilometers away, and it inspires us a lot. So I will explain you also a few dishes. So as I told you, like Barbulot is only open for 3 or 4 weeks. We are planning a second Barbulot in Antwerp in 2020 and a third Barbulot in Brussels in 2021. The kind of food we serve is like a North Sea crab, just natural cooked and stuffed again with crab. We have some local squids that we deep fried with some sauce tartare. We have some flat local oysters on ice with some lemon. As you can see, it's very simple, very traditional, but it's all about the products, local products on a high quality. This is some carpaccio of scallops with some Jerusalem artichokes and a vinaigrette of bone marrow. We have our famous Belgium grey shrimp croquettes. There are some clams we serve with some local pancetta and some spices in a broth, a little bit spiced broth. It's a pork terrine with a vinaigrette from shallots and chives, and on top we have some puffed skin of the pork. This is the classic version of the eel with green herbs. We have tomato filled with grey shrimp and some Belgian fries. It's Belgium sole with meunière, so with butter and some herbs and tomatoes. Our famous Belgium steak tartare. It's a tournedos from local West Flemish beef we serve with a green pepper sauce. And some crème brûlée, very traditional, café glacé, also an old school style. Some vanilla ice with some chocolate sauce. Also here we are working with a very young team. So we did, when we closed Hertog Jan, we had around 45 team members, and they were eager to stay aboard with us. So all of them we are now dividing into different projects, different restaurants, and so we are pretty proud to achieve what we are doing right now with such young people. And then, last but not least, we have Babu. Babu is actually, it's not open yet. It's a new upcoming member, and the opening is planned in February 2020 in Ghent. And the idea is to scale it and to open different shops in different cities. So it's about steamed buns. So we serve different tastes that we were inspired by different countries on a steamed bun. So we also combine it with some sides. I don't really have like professional pictures, but I have some text pictures to show you around and to let you see what we are working on. So it's gonna be, as I said, this is the logo. It's inspired by the world. It's gonna be fast casual, also a different price range. It's gonna be in between 15 and 20 euros. And it will have like more the grungy side, the grungy vibe with a little bit loud music, like lots of fluo and things like that. So actually it's especially for the young people, we are looking for people in between 15 and 25, 30. We are opening the first one in a student city, and we are serving, like that are the first text pictures. We are serving steamed buns, but always like this is a Flemish version. That is with what we call curryworst special and some crispy fries. This is with some pork belly, some kimchi, some spring onions, and some hoisin sauce. Another one is with falafel and some hummus with some pomegranates. We have one with fried fish and some sauce tartare. Another one with fried chicken and chili cream. And then, of course, we will serve a few sides like dumpling soup or dan noodle or whatever. So for sure, in the near future, we will share much more information about it. But I think at the end, our new goal is to create a restaurant group with the focus on happiness. Because I think that gastronomy and cooking, it's much more than the ultimate fine dining for the happy few. Our goal is to play in different food leagues and being included at the top in every league. I think that's very important. But with a focus on quality and hospitality. Because creating happiness by a magical food experience, that is where it's all about. Thank you.
So please stay on the stage. We'll give you a small thank you gift. And for that, I would like to invite TAV Holding PTA CEO Saadettin Cesur. May I have you please on the center?